Imagine if, in just 60 seconds, you could change the energy that surrounds your entire life. Bold claim, isn't it? But the truth is that every thought you have carries a frequency, and that frequency determines the quality of the experiences you attract. Most people spend their days tuned into low vibrations, fear, anxiety, scarcity, without realizing they're building their own mental prison. Yet there's a simple secret that can instantly raise your vibration, open doors, and turn what once seemed impossible into reality. Today, you're going to discover the mental technique inspired by the studies of Jacobo Grinberg that can reprogram your mind and change your destiny in just 1 minute. Before we begin, write in the comments, "I choose to raise my frequency." This isn't just engagement, it's a commitment to the new energy you're about to activate. Jacobo Grinberg was one of the greatest consciousness researchers, and perhaps the boldest of his generation. A Mexican psychologist and neurophysiologist, he dedicated his life to understanding what truly shapes reality. While most of science was confined to studying the brain as a biological machine, Grinberg went further. He explored spiritual traditions, investigated shamans, and proposed that what we call the external world is nothing more than a projection of our mental field. According to his neuronal field theory, consciousness doesn't just interpret the universe, it creates it. This vision, which resonates with modern concepts of quantum physics, such as the observer effect, explains why our thoughts behave like frequencies. They don't remain in the mind alone. They reverberate through the invisible structure of reality, shaping situations, encounters, opportunities, and even obstacles. Grinberg believed that by learning to tune the mind into higher states, we could literally reconfigure the life we experience. And he wasn't alone. Researchers like Thomas Campbell and thinkers like Neville Goddard pointed to the same principle. The subconscious absorbs vibrations and manifests their equivalents in the external world. Today, you'll learn a practice that bridges science and spirituality, one capable of shifting your frequency in just 60 seconds. Everything in the universe vibrates. Every particle, every wave, every thought emits a frequency that interacts with the invisible field around us. This isn't just a mystical idea, but a concept validated by quantum physics itself, which shows that reality behaves according to how it is observed. It's as if we are constantly tuning a radio station, and the station we choose dictates the kind of experience we live. Now think about your own emotions. When you are in joy, peace, or gratitude, your whole body reacts expansively. You feel light, your breathing flows, your ideas come with clarity. But when you're in fear, anxiety, or anger, there is an internal contraction. Your heart races, your breathing shortens, and your mind fills with worries. This isn't only psychological, it's vibrational. Every emotion carries a frequency, and that frequency attracts events that match it. That's why sayings like, "you attract what you are," or "birds of a feather flock together," make so much sense. If you constantly dwell on negative thoughts, your vibrational field aligns with situations that reinforce that pattern. It's not bad luck, it's resonance. Likewise, when you consciously choose to nurture higher thoughts, you begin accessing realities that were previously invisible. Imagine your mind as an antenna. If it's tuned to a low frequency, it only picks up static from fear, scarcity, and worry. But when you shift that tuning, suddenly new opportunities appear. Not because they didn't exist before, but because your perception was limited. The brain, through the reticular activating system, RAS, filters information based on your dominant beliefs. So when you raise your vibration, you literally expand your ability to notice paths, solutions, and encounters that were already available. Jacobo Grinberg stated that our consciousness interacts with an infinite field of information. This field responds to what we emit, as if it were a mirror of our inner vibration. That's why when you work on your thoughts and emotions, you're not just thinking positively in a superficial way, you're reshaping your relationship with the very fabric of reality. This understanding changes everything. It's no longer about external effort, but about internal adjustment. If you want prosperity, you need to vibrate prosperity. If you want love, you need to vibrate love. If you seek peace, you need to vibrate peace. This is the language of the universe. Frequencies that attract, amplify, and become tangible experiences. Once you start seeing thoughts as real frequencies, you realize you hold a powerful tool in your hands. It's not magic, but science applied to daily life. The key is to recognize that at every moment you're emitting a vibration, and you have the freedom to choose whether that vibration brings you closer to or further from the life you want. Most people live trapped in an invisible cycle of low vibrations without even knowing it. Fear, anxiety, worry, guilt, shame, and anger may seem normal day-to-day emotions, but they actually act like chains holding the mind in repetitive states. It's like being stuck on a radio station that only plays heavy, sad songs. And no matter how much you want to hear something uplifting, you're still tuned to the same channel. This cycle happens because the human brain has a natural bias toward noticing the negative. Since ancient times, when survival depended on detecting danger quickly, our minds have been conditioned to pay more attention to threats than to uplifting signals. But in the modern world, this survival mechanism has become a burden. We remain stuck in constant worry, anticipating problems and reliving past pains. When someone wakes up already thinking about bills, conflicts, or insecurities, the body responds with tension, stress hormones, and repetitive thoughts. This low energy creates a vibrational field that attracts more of the same, situations that reinforce scarcity, interactions that amplify frustration, opportunities that always seem to slip away. It's as if the universe confirms, day after day, what you already believe about your life. The mind, operating on autopilot, repeats this pattern. As a result, many people spend years in emotional states of fear or anxiety, convinced there's no way out. This mental prison is so strong that even when an opportunity for growth appears, the person cannot see it or act on it because their vibration has already conditioned them to see only obstacles. Grinberg explained that consciousness projects reality based on internal structures. If those structures are filled with limiting beliefs, perception can't access anything beyond them. That's why you might see someone with the same circumstances as you, but achieving far greater results. It's not luck, it's frequency. A person vibrating in states of confidence and abundance sees paths that someone trapped in low vibrations simply cannot perceive. The danger of this cycle is that it feeds on itself. The more you focus on fear, the more fearful situations arise. The more you think about lack, the more lack manifests. It's a vibrational loop that can only be broken with awareness and practice. The first step is to notice when you're stuck in that low frequency. Observe your thoughts and emotions, and ask yourself if they align with expansion or contraction. From there, space opens up to reprogram the mind and tune into new vibrations. And this shift, as you'll see, doesn't require years of effort. It can begin in just 60 seconds of focused practice. Jacobo Grinberg was among the first scientists to seriously propose that reality isn't something fixed and external, but rather a projection created by consciousness. According to his neuronal field theory, the human mind acts like an interface between an infinite field of information and what we call the material world. In other words, what we perceive around us isn't reality itself, but a version shaped by our internal filters. This idea connects strikingly with what quantum physics describes as the observer effect. The simple act of observing influences the behavior of subatomic particles. This suggests consciousness isn't passive, but plays an active role in creating what we call reality. Grinberg deepened this understanding by showing, through his studies, that beliefs, emotions, and mental patterns can alter the way consciousness interacts with that field of information. If thoughts are frequencies, as we've seen, they act as commands, structuring the reality we perceive. This explains why people with the same background, living in the same environment, can live entirely different lives. It's not just about external circumstances, but about the mental frequency each one sustains. Grinberg also studied shamanic and mystical traditions which, for centuries, had already claimed that reality is malleable and that humans can learn to shape it consciously. He noticed these traditions were describing something very close to what science was beginning to prove, that there exists an invisible field of information sensitive to the vibrations of the mind. When we're in low vibrations, the field reflects equivalent experiences. When we manage to raise our frequency, we access new possibilities that once seemed out of reach. What's most interesting is that Grinberg didn't see this as a magical power, but as a natural ability we all possess. He believed the key to life transformation wasn't in forcibly changing the external world, but in learning to change the internal programs that sustain perception. It's like switching the lenses of your glasses. Suddenly, what seemed blurry becomes clear. This understanding leads us to a crucial point. If reality is shaped by consciousness, then every thought and emotion is a fundamental piece of the puzzle of our existence. Nothing is neutral. Every moment we vibrate in fear, doubt, or scarcity, we reinforce a structure of limitation. But every moment we vibrate in confidence, gratitude, and abundance, we open paths to new experiences. Jacobo Grinberg left behind a profound legacy, still little explored by mainstream science, but increasingly echoed among spiritual seekers and mind researchers. His message is clear. Reality is a reflection of your frequency. And by reprogramming that frequency, you inevitably change the quality of your life. If consciousness shapes reality, then the subconscious is the foundation that sustains that creation. It functions like silent software, absorbing information since childhood and running automatic programs throughout life. It is in the subconscious that beliefs about who we are, what we deserve, and what is possible are stored. The problem is, most of this software was installed without our awareness, through repeated phrases, experiences of fear, and limitations inherited from family and society. The good news is that this same subconscious can be reprogrammed. And one of the most powerful moments for this is the so-called hypnagogic state, the transition between wakefulness and sleep. At that time, the rational mind lowers its activity, brain waves shift from beta to alpha and theta, and the subconscious becomes highly receptive. Jacobo Grinberg studied this state and concluded that what you think and feel in the minutes before sleep is planted as a matrix in your consciousness, directly influencing the next day and, over time, your entire life. Unfortunately, most people waste this valuable moment. Before sleep, they replay problems, financial worries, resentments, or painful memories. In doing so, they program the mind to keep creating more of the same. It's like planting seeds of scarcity every night and expecting to harvest abundance later. But just a shift in intention can turn this into a powerful tool for conscious creation. Instead of feeding thoughts of fear, you can choose to plant powerful affirmations paired with positive emotions. Phrases like, "I am worthy of abundance," or "life supports me in every detail" are not just words. When repeated with emotion in this receptive state, they become commands engraved into the subconscious. Another essential tool is visualization. The brain doesn't distinguish between real and imagined when a scene is experienced vividly in the mind. By visualizing yourself already living the reality you desire, feeling the joy, the lightness, the gratitude of that scene, you send a clear signal to the subconscious that this is true. With repetition, the subconscious adjusts your perceptions, emotions, and even behaviors to align your life with this new programming. It's as if every night offers an opportunity to reset your vibration. Each time you use the hypnagogic state to plant seeds of confidence, gratitude, and love, you're reconfiguring the lenses through which you see the world. Over time, this practice becomes a habit, and little by little your dominant frequency rises. Reprogramming the subconscious isn't some unreachable mystical process. It's a simple but profoundly powerful practice. By combining breathing, affirmations, emotion, and visualization at the right moment, you plant seeds of the reality you wish to experience into the invisible field. And the most impressive part is that this process can begin showing results in just 60 seconds. Now we arrive at the central point, the practice that can raise your vibration in just 1 minute. This technique combines 3 key elements: breathing, affirmation, and emotion, to create an immediate shift in your energy state. The secret is to understand that it's not just about repeating words mechanically, but about aligning body, mind, and heart into a single frequency. Start by finding a quiet place. Close your eyes and take a deep breath through your nose, slowly filling your lungs. Hold the air for a few seconds, then gently release it through your mouth, as if letting go of all accumulated tension. This conscious breathing signals to your body that you're safe, activating the parasympathetic system and allowing your mind to relax. Next, bring your attention to the center of your chest, or the area of your forehead often referred to as the third eye. Imagine a golden light shining at this point, expanding through your body. This simple visualization awakens your pineal gland, which studies suggest is sensitive to frequencies and plays a key role in expanded states of consciousness. Now, mentally or softly aloud, say a short, powerful affirmation. It might be, "I choose to raise my frequency," or "I am a magnet for abundance and peace." What matters is that the phrase sparks expansion and confidence. Repeat it for 60 seconds while continuing to breathe deeply. Here's the detail that makes all the difference. Don't say the words coldly, feel them. Imagine what it's like to already live aligned with this new reality. If the affirmation is about abundance, visualize yourself calmly paying your bills, receiving unexpected opportunities, feeling your heart at peace. If it's about confidence, see yourself entering a room with presence, speaking clearly, attracting respect and support. The more emotion you add, the stronger the imprint on your subconscious. During this minute, your mind, your cells, and your energetic field synchronize with the new frequency. It's like switching radio stations. Instead of tuning into fear or scarcity, you start picking up signals of confidence, joy, and abundance. The most powerful aspect of this technique is its simplicity. You can practice it before bed, upon waking, in moments of anxiety, before an important meeting, or whenever you feel your energy is low. 60 seconds are enough to interrupt a negative vibrational pattern and open space for a higher state. With daily repetition, this practice stops being a temporary exercise and begins to redefine your dominant frequency. Gradually, you'll notice subtle changes. Situations flowing more smoothly, more positive people coming into your life, opportunities appearing naturally. These are reflections of the new resonance you've chosen to sustain. Practicing the 60-second technique is like lighting an inner flame. But for this flame to grow into a fire capable of illuminating your whole life, it needs daily fuel. Integration of the new frequency is what ensures the transformation isn't temporary, but becomes a natural state of your being. The first key is consistency. Just as going to the gym strengthens muscles, daily practice strengthens the mind. Repetition creates new neural pathways and conditions the subconscious to hold a higher vibration. That's why, even if you feel skeptical or distracted on some days, do the practice anyway. 1 minute of intention is enough to keep the process alive. The second key is to expand this frequency beyond the 60 seconds. A simple way to do this is through music. As you've already noticed, music is pure vibrational field. Choosing melodies that uplift your energy helps sustain your resonance throughout the day. Whenever you feel your vibration dropping, play a song that awakens joy or peace within you, and notice how quickly your mind realigns. Another powerful tool is gratitude journaling. Take a few minutes each morning to write down what went well the day before. The goal isn't to make a mechanical list, but to feel every word you write. By reliving good experiences, you strengthen the frequency of appreciation, one of the highest vibrations we can sustain. Over time, your mind trains itself to notice the positive in every situation, even the simplest ones. In addition, practice conscious observation. Throughout the day, pause to check your vibration. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Does this frequency expand me or contract me? This simple act of awareness already opens space for more conscious choices. If you notice you're stuck in anxiety or worry, use the 60-second technique again to reset your energy. It's important to remember that integrating a new frequency doesn't mean never feeling negative emotions again. We're human, and fear or sadness are part of life. The difference is that when you cultivate a high vibration as your baseline, those emotions no longer dominate your existence. You acknowledge them, learn from them, and return to your center more quickly. Over time, you'll notice external changes reflecting your new vibration. Healthier relationships, unexpected opportunities, situations that flow with more ease. The universe responds to the frequency you hold. And by expanding this state into your daily routine, you stop merely reacting to the world and start co-creating the reality you desire. Integrating and expanding your new frequency is, at its core, a lifestyle. It's not about controlling every detail, but about choosing each day to tune into the energy that best reflects who you want to be. When this practice becomes natural, your elevated vibration stops being an exercise and becomes your identity. Now that you know the 60-second technique and understand how each thought is a frequency capable of shaping your reality, it's time to put it into action. Transformation doesn't happen just by listening or understanding, but by applying this knowledge consistently in your daily life. Start today, even before going to sleep or first thing tomorrow morning. Take just 1 minute to breathe deeply, repeat your affirmation with emotion, and visualize the life you want to live. You'll be surprised at how quickly your vibration begins to change, and with it, the experiences you attract. But remember, this path isn't just personal. The more people raise their frequency, the more we contribute to a world that's conscious, abundant, and connected. That's why you should share this video with someone who needs this message and help spread this transformative energy. If this content resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to keep receiving messages that lift your awareness. And leave in the comments the phrase, "I choose to raise my frequency." This is your declaration of commitment to the change that has already begun. The frequency of abundance already exists within you. The next step is simply to choose to vibrate in it.